We need to talk about this show because this show had no business being as good as this was. It is one of my favorite Netflix shows I have ever seen in my life. If you like historical dramas, wars, politics, betrayals, complicated characters, and incredible friendships, and a main character who's basically allergic to making sensible decisions, watch this show. So season 1 is where we get introduced to our main character, Uhtred. He is a Saxon boy who is captured and raised amongst the Danes after his entire family falls apart. And immediately you're just introduced to this really interesting place where Uhtred just never belongs anywhere. He is always caught between these two worlds of Saxons and the Danes. Season 1 basically explores who Uhtred is, what he wants, where he belongs, his revenge plot, political alliances, battles, romance, and there's enough betrayal in this to make you question everything. Season 2 is where things get much bigger and much darker because Uhtred is still trying to reclaim his birthright, which is Bebbanburg, which was taken from him from his bitch of an uncle. Season 3 is where everything just starts getting way more intense. Uhtred is older, he's more experienced, he's more dangerous, yet he is still making terrible decisions. The stakes are higher, the political conflicts are way more complicated, and the characters are pushed into situations where most of the times their opinion and their choices are not taken into consideration. In season 4, we get new alliances, new characters, and new conflicts, and the characters that we have been following since season 1 face way more emotional consequences. At this point, Uhtred has become a really powerful warrior, but what I liked about the show was that we were constantly reminded of the things he lost to become this good warrior. But underneath all that, we see how Uhtred is just a man trying to find a home, a family. Which brings me to my favorite part of the show, the found family aspect. Uhtred, Finan, Sihtric, and Osworth. These 4 have my heart. I love them with everything. Their relationship was my favorite in the entire show. Uhtred is a very chaotic leader who somehow just manages to survive every single possible situation he's put in. Finan is a sarcastic best friend who just lightens every single mood, and if they're ever in a worse situation, he is that positive light that everyone needs. He's just like the glue holding everyone together. Sihtric is a very quiet character, insanely loyal, and he's the sort of character you'll be like, oh my god, when did I get attached to him? Lastly, my baby monk, Osworth. He was such a lovable part of the group. He was just the baby of the group and everyone just loved him as a younger brother. Their friendship is one of my favorite points and favorite aspects of the show because it just felt so natural. They will entertain each other, they will protect each other, they'll fight alongside each other, they'll insult each other, they'll fight each other sometimes, but they, at the end of the day, they love each other so much that they would die for one another. Season 5 is just bigger in every sense, more political tension, extreme battles, wars, the friendships are being tested, loyalties are being tested, betrayals are happening, everything is just big. Uhtred is the heart of the show. He is stubborn, arrogant, impulsive, and incredibly loyal. He will die to protect the people he loves. Out of all the kings that were made for Wessex, Alfred was my favorite. He was the best king because he actually thought before doing things. I did, however, hate how he treated Uhtred, but towards the end, I was just like, oh my god, one more thing about the show. Even the most despicable characters, the character development for each of them was so good. Even the most despicable character, Hastings, I felt bad for him at the end, man. I also absolutely loved Ethelfled. The way she was strong-headed, she was a true queen. I also loved Brida. Her actions really pissed me off towards the end. I was trying to justify them, but then at the same time, I was so conflicted because she went through so much. So it was kind of justified, but at the same time, it was so extreme. Oh my god, I loved Ragnar. Beocca. Priolig. Hild. Oh my god, Halig. I already miss everyone from the show so much. I want to rewatch it instantly. 5 seasons are not enough. I need more. That being said, 10 out of 10 show. Literally one of the best things I have ever seen in my life. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Will you go through an extreme